dispensary.com. Another episode of the RMR podcast today, folks. A special edition episode, New York Cannabis in the house. We've got Joanne Wilson. She's the CEO and founder of Gotham in New York. Guys, they got 4 locations. We're going to talk about those cities. It's like in Hudson and Chelsea and Williamsburg and Bowery. These are a bunch of places that I don't know a lot about, and Joanne's going to talk to us about that today. First, before we get to you, Joanne, welcome to the show. I appreciate you, and shout out to our sponsor, Deep Roots. We'll talk to you guys a little bit about what they do later. But Joanne, how we doing today? Happy Taco Tuesday from LA. I know New York's not a big taco place, but I'm going to celebrate and send you that good energy, okay? How we doing today?
We're doing great. We're actually getting some new Mexican restaurants in here. So, you never know. We might start competing with LA.
Let's go. Let's go. You know what? I don't know if there ever is. I don't know if New York and LA needs any more competition, man. Let's just celebrate the greatness of the two of them and how different we all are culturally as people, what we're interested. Our brand, Joanne, is called Respect My Region because we love highlighting things that brings respect to that region. And you, Joanne, are a certified community expert in terms of building these retail environments, getting the right people involved, and then connecting and helping and having impact on the local environment. Joanne, it's not to stereotype anybody, but there's a lot of different versions of a classic stoner, right? What kind of stoner are you, Joanne? You're a CEO and founder of a 4-location dispensary, and you're a premium brand. Just describe your stonerishness.
I'm a very productive stoner.
I like that. What were you doing in your career prior to cannabis, Joanne? I don't know anything about you besides the bio, but I want to get to know you the real way.
I've had like 18 careers. I mean, I started my career in retail and wholesale, and then I was in the tech industry. I was in the media industry. I built a conference. I write a blog, Gotham Gal, where I invested in startups for over a decade, mostly females, Black and brown founders, had 3 kids. I've done a bunch of different things.
Damn, Joanne, you have lived one heck of a life. That is so cool. And one of my favorite things is how inspiring that is. It's proof that it can be done. You can manage all of that. It probably wasn't easy, I would imagine, huh?
No, I just got bored and then on to the next.
That's so cool. What an interesting internal energy to have, and then the ability to also have the vision and go execute and the discipline that goes with that. How cool is that? Today's a cannabis focused conversation, Joanne. We're going to learn a little bit about your guys at dispensaries. I don't know which one came first. I don't remember. I know it's been a couple of years since you guys were in that first wave of New York dispensaries being opened.
We were the first one I think we were the 3rd dispensary open in the city.
Wow. That's history, Joanne. You're literally part of the historians are going to write about it one day, and us as media, at least in my side in this current media room. That's why we're having to cover this is the people that live there. I mean, think about the impact that they had when cannabis was illegal in that area. And now the safety, the anxiety relief, just the impact positively that you guys are bringing to those 4 cities. Joanne, what was the first one? What was the first location?
The first one was on the Bowery, 3 East 3rd Street. We opened, I think it's been 3 years.
Wow. It's already been 3 years. That's crazy.
I know, it's crazy.
There was that first year, even 2 years, Joanne, remember the lawsuits? I'm sure those are some form of traumatic.
Endless lawsuits, endless problems. But still, the biggest problem still is that probably 85% of the weed being smoked in the state is still coming from illegal suppliers.
You Gotham, Joanne, CEO founder of Gotham, that's a real comment right now. That's real.
Yeah, for sure. Particularly in the delivery business. I mean, there's a reason no one is really exploding their delivery business is because
the regular traditional deliveries are still doing it after all of that pressure from closing down the other stores.
That is correct. And there are still tons of places with illegal products in it in illegal stores.
I mean, it is the United States of America. If they're going to close down our ability to walk somewhere, we're about to just order delivery.
Totally. I mean, it really is frustrating in an industry that's so fucking hard to build.
Yeah.
They gave us this opportunity to get these licenses and open these stores, and then they didn't shut down the illegal stores. How are we supposed to do that?
I remember when I first moved to California, Joanne, this was 2019, and there was I mean, Joanne, at that time, you and I could have gone to Long Beach or Compton or one around South Central Hollywood. We could have gone anywhere that regular tourists go. And
Yeah,
there was a million trap shops here, just like New York during that window of time, courtesy of the mayor, right? That gentleman.
totally.
And
You could go
right.
down to
I
the
mean, that's what
courthouse
happened,
there.
right? It was like a
Everywhere.
virality moment. And every wannabe entrepreneur who was in their house, maybe they could find a spot and do a store. And it was kind of like, I think they call it the open air markets kind of thing, which is just flooded. But the problem was when I first got here, it took about 3 years, Joanne. Weed Maps wasn't kicking the illegal groups without a license. They weren't booting them off of Weed Maps, and it was causing friction between their paying rec customers,
Mhm.
the clients like you and rec, and obviously the trap, which funded a lot of Weed Maps business in the early days. So my question is are they not enforcing the digital stuff? Because you got to be able to Google delivery in any city in New York City, and there's got to be people doing it. So
I mean, it's really hard to do something about all the illegal places, including online, when out of the Office of Cannabis Management that runs New York State, there's only 18 people that are overseeing that stuff.
So it goes back to the same problem we were experiencing here. It's a bandwidth enforcement problem,
That is
right?
correct. Yeah. And the
That's
attitude is once we get the taxes from the stuff that's selling legally, then we can build our department instead of giving money from the state budget to build that so they can actually get more taxes.
I haven't built 18 different careers, but I'm going to take a page from you here and rely on your experience and wisdom. That sounds a little ass backwards to me.
I agree.
It sounds a little backwards.
It makes no sense.
Okay, so trials, tribulations, speed bumps, brick walls in your face, lawsuits, random challenges, the trap, the traditional. These are just some of the things you've had to overcome and still battling with to this day. On a positive side though, Joanne, why do you do this? What's the real purpose? What makes you feel happy and fulfilled when you go home? You're 18 careers in, this might be 19. What
Yeah.
what what
I
keeps
mean,
you pushing?
it was one of these things that came by my desk. I heard from a friend, like, what's going on in cannabis? I was like, I have no idea. He told me what's going on. You can get these licenses. I did a major dive. I found the people to talk to. And the more they talked about it, the more I thought, wow, I want to take this concept I have of this new type of store because
Mhm.
all the retail stores are closing and
Yep.
merge it with cannabis. And I love startups and I love being at the very beginning of really nascent things. And so that's why I sort of jumped in. I don't think I really thought it through thoroughly. I just thought, this is so cool. I'm going to do this.
You know what's interesting is they say it's not about how long it takes you to get the job done, right, Joanne? It's about all the years it took to get you to do it that quick, right?
100%. And for me, I've been a stoner since I was, in eighth grade. And
That's
I always
OG.
loved retail.
Mhm.
And so it sort of was an ability to have all the dots connect.
I was looking again, referring to the bio. I was looking at that earlier and just kind of trying to like how it's like when you play that game when you're sitting in public and maybe you're stoned or not, so you're like you take a guess at what this person does with their life or what they did or how they got there. And I'm like reading through your information. I'm like, damn, this person has done some cool stuff. So I have to know when we talk about inspo for this vision, inspiration for how it would look, feel, smell, the vibe, the energy, how it can all be received when somebody walks in, because retail is a lot of different variables.
Oh, for
Where
sure.
did you pull inspiration from to get that retail idea that you had and then get it into cannabis? Where did that come from? Because it's
It
like
came from, it came from Dover Street Market. It came from Colette. It came from Corso Como. And then all the groovy, fabulous European stores that have
interesting.
created really positive environments that you go into and the salespeople know you. And when you
Yeah.
come back, they know you and you feel really confident and very good in those locations. And I think that a lot of the stores that I saw, and I did all the research before we opened in New York because we weren't the first New York State. And I felt like a lot of the stores were felt like Grateful Dead situations from 1960. And
There's a
I
time and place.
there is a common
It's
place,
not for me, but there
you
is a
know,
time and place.
there is a time and place, and I felt like if we really want to change the narrative around cannabis, because we've been all forced a pack of lies from Nixon administration on, the only way to do it is to create a space that anyone, smoker or not, partaker or not, feels really good and comfortable walking in that store and wants to hang out all day.
Now, one of the key things that I saw was some experience with Macy's, right? And you mentioned this earlier about retail shutting down in the regular world. I graduated college in 2015, and I have a basic division two college degree in
Mm-hmm.
retail management information technology, thus me gravitating towards retail marketing, right? Data, tech, info. We're talking 10 years ago. That was ahead of its time if you were in school, right? Now, why are retails closing, right? Why is it that brick and mortar, the malls across America, right, the regular stores, why is it that they struggle so much? And in my eyes, I'm going to plant the seed, it's a lack of digital innovation, integration. They're bad at e-com, they're bad at the content stuff. They didn't adapt to the internet quick enough, hard enough, strong enough. Pick your poison. In terms of the Macy's, the big brick and mortar out there, it's my understanding that like Ulta and those other women's wellness companies and the makeup brands, those are doing fairly strong, if not doing okay in the brick and mortar space. But the
Mm-hmm.
majority of other things are doing absolutely terrible.
Terrible. I mean, Nordstrom's is doing fine, right?
Okay.
They figured it out. Um, I think that none of these stores innovated. And you're absolutely right when it comes to technology. In the mid 90s, when everyone started having e commerce sites, they didn't innovate, they didn't create e commerce sites. And they
Yeah.
also, there was a whole wave of all of the luxury products starting their own stores.
Yes.
And so that took away from their market share, but they didn't innovate and think out of the box internally in those stores. When you go to Europe and you want to go to Bon Marché or, Galeries Lafayette, they're packed
Interesting.
all the time. Not here, they're empty. And all they are at this point, when you go into a Saks or a Bergdorf Goodman's, they're literally where everything is for them to ship from that store. There's no innovation, there's shitty customer service, and it's not what it used to be. I mean, it's really
It's like they tried to be, they dug their heels into this is our legacy brand and this is how our legacy is, and we're going to be legacy like that for, and then, or we're not for you, and that's okay, right?
yeah, yeah. I mean, even
But
when
not for their pockets, right? That's the problem. Their bank accounts started hurting, those big
yeah,
brands.
I mean, when that private equity company bought Barney's and brought a Barney's downtown to back to the old Barney's space on 18th and 7th Avenue, when they finished and you walked in, it looked like something out of 1981. It was
Ooh.
terrible. I mean, it gave them this huge opportunity to create something different, but all they did is create the same old shit.
I was on my initial upbringing here in cannabis, Joanne, was as the second marketing person and a bud tender for 5 weeks, right? Just had to start somewhere. And I talked too much, so they moved me to marketing quick. Right, like, do this, do what you want. We need you to burn through customers faster. It's kind of funny. Point was, we were BuzzFeed's most luxurious dispensary in the world twice, 2 years in a row,
Interesting.
and very expensive. It was in Seattle. Spanish tile and antique glass display cases and custom products for 4,000 and 10,000, and then we would manufacture the hype around that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Collaborations, right? One of ones, right? Two of twos, things like that. And one of the things that we struggled with in that particular area was, and this is Seattle, this isn't New York. Seattle doesn't have neighborhoods downtown where there's pockets of money and there's a dispensaries able to be there. It's not built the same way. We were in a stadium area, which is not the same. So I'm in my head, I'm like, gosh, these guys are a premium brand. They got 4 locations. art, culture, it's high end. I went on the website and the product selection you guys have is crazy. There's great rosin products and a bunch of different live resin infused. I do buy infused joints, and I try not to buy like the fruity flavored crazy ones. I try to buy actual live resin infused ones that taste stuff. But point is that there was stuff on there that I would go in there and be able to easily drop $300, $400, $500, $600 should I had the money to do it. And
Correct.
there is not a lot of places that can do that because their audience, their customer base is so heavy on the affordable items that the other stuff goes bad and doesn't sell fast enough or at all. Right, Joanne?
Mm-hmm. That's
And so
correct.
what do you do specifically in these neighborhoods that you've chosen in these cities? And how do you connect these high-end products to these different areas? Because I'm just a general tourist. I'm not familiar with what it's like in Bowery or what it's
Yeah.
like in Williamsburg.
Listen, our products are no different than anything that's being carried around the city. And we're
Mm-hmm.
not any more expensive. The truth is, we're probably less expensive because many of those stores are having a hard time functioning. And so what they're doing is they're marking their products up high so they can make their rent. That does not last forever.
No.
But for us, I think one of the things that we have really leaned into and has made us very different is that our connoisseurs, which is what we call the people behind this,
Yep.
the case lines, are insanely well educated.
Cool.
And so that means that people that have medical issues or problems can come in and speak to someone. If you just
Yeah.
want to come in and get stoned, you can speak to someone. So
Absolutely.
it's more about a luxury experience. It isn't necessarily about a luxury price.
It's so interesting. Oh God, that's the phrase. More about a luxury experience than it is about a luxury price. Why? Because you made luxury accessible and affordable through the experience. You used a phrase, I'm sorry, not a phrase. You said one word that stands out to me. Insanely, insanely educated. You're the first. Hundreds of episodes, maybe 20 or so through New York in the last year. Shout out to New York for being the #1 region to hop on my podcast network all year long, and you being one of the first, if not the first this year, Joanne. Insanely educated. You're the one of one out of hundreds that I've met.
Wow. I mean, to me, that's the most important thing.
Absolutely. I would agree. And you know what set
I
our
believe
luxury
it.
dispensary apart in Seattle? Do you know what made us different? Is day one, we opened 16 staff, including the accountant, all of us medically certified in Washington State for
There
cannabis.
you go. And we're working towards that as well.
Yep. And that right there was a huge differentiation factor for our store. They took a couple women from other dispensaries that they were #1 and very educated. We trained them to our SOP if you could back then, whatever. And it was life changing. And that standard for me has stayed with me as a customer because when you go somewhere and you receive low quality service or poor communication, you know immediately that, like, okay, this isn't my usual, what I like, what I want, how I should go, but I'm going to come down to their level respectfully, and we're going to get me in and out of here quicker and faster. And I don't like that. I don't like being rushed in a dispensary for my medicine, Joanne.
Totally. I mean,
I'm a
listen, we have
patient.
all the data. We have customers who've been on our store over 150 times
Yeah.
and they come back. I mean, even when, we close for, like last Monday, we closed early for an employee appreciation party because you can't do it in the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
Tuesday was a crazy day. Our customers didn't go somewhere else. They waited for us to open again on Tuesday.
That's awesome. I mean, you build that loyalty, and we're gonna be there, and especially what people sleep on, Joanne, is communication. The more you talk to me and are valuable to me, and you show me that you care about me, it's the right time, the right thing to say. It's genuine. People love to use that word authentic. ChatGPT loves to say intentional. All of these things really start to add up, and when you have a team of insanely educated people that pay attention to the details because they are smart enough, they care enough, maybe they're taken care of financially well enough. I know at our dispensary, not everybody was at the end, but we all were at the beginning. We all were paid at
We
least a
take
dollar
care of
more.
our people
Yeah.
highly. I think that is a very important thing. Every state always wanted to do something from a socially perspective, right? And it should be. I mean, we have just destroyed an entire multiple generations of people. To throw them into jail for fucking getting stoned is utterly ridiculous. So we do the
Agreed.
right thing, and we want to create an environment, where our people reach out to their customer, and their customer comes in, no, I see him, I love seeing him, right? He's my guy, or she's my woman. We pay all of our bartenders $25 an hour. If
Let's
they
go.
are full time, they get full health care. They do not have to pay into the system. We match their savings at the end of the year, and there is opportunity for upward mobility. We also do an educational training seminars every month to teach them how to write a resume, how to think about your insurance and use it intelligently that makes sense, so that we can help them think about ways that they become better at themselves. And that's
Absolutely.
really important. And we have
Absolutely.
people that live in public housing, people that have been arrested, people that have been homeless that work for us, and we've changed their lives.
Come on, man. I live in LA. I'm about to put in my application, man. You know how much it costs for me to live over here? I'm about to fly over there on Frontier or something for the deal. Come to work that way. You know what I'm saying? Now, all jokes aside, that's incredibly powerful. And again, I would say with only in my sphere of who I've spoken with over the years, thinking about the dispensaries in Washington that like I knew well, the California ones, the 350 I visited personally here in my sales efforts. You know, I've not heard people do that, taking it to that level.
Oh
It's
my God, I've heard of people that are
period.
owning stores that come in and take all the tips and put them in their pocket.
No, that's
I
fact.
mean, they don't even have lunch breaks. It's just like, I want all the people in our stores to feel part of a community, taken care of, and be able to live their lives. We also give 4 weeks vacation a year.
You guys follow the laws and you guys give opportunities and you guys actually don't. It sounds like you don't like force that United States of America hustle culture, right? Which Europe and these other countries are very much against hustle culture. Like, yo, I'm
Mhm,
done working. You're done. You know what I'm saying? Like, no more extra stuff. Don't treat me different because of it. Blah blah blah. You know what I'm saying?
I
We're
do.
not. That's not historically how it is here in the states. And you guys operating in this unique way, which is crazy because it's just the good right way. At the end of the day, you
And
have to be able to
they should
you
be
have to be
doing
able to afford it
that.
though, Joanne. That's tough. So we have to get into the nitty gritty of some of the business. Now, I'm not a numbers guy. I'm not into all that stuff, but you have to be able to afford it. And that's a combination of brand, product, marketing, actively in the community. You mentioned customers being there over 100 times. That really stands out to me because, um, I am a creature of habit, and I know that I'm just a regular guy at the end of the day. I'm just a regular football loving sports dude. And for me, I go shop. I shop at Walmart like a regular person. I go to Ross for a lot of stuff. I go to the mall when I got to get stuff that's like a bigger brand. I try to go there seasonally. I follow the same psychological consumer habits that exist that we've been trained in my 30 years of living here. And you guys have to be doing that right. And so, in your eyes, elite cannabis retail, how do you execute that in all of those things we just discussed from your perspective?
Treating the people that work for you properly.
It all circles back to that.
It totally goes back. I mean, of course, you have to have an environment that the customer walks into and
Mm-hmm.
feels like that. I mean, when our customer comes into our store, we all feel like we are hosting them at our own party. And that's how we should feel.
That makes sense. I actually am going to pull up your website here right now. I have there. You have a beautiful website first and foremost. Shout out to your team for that. But I couldn't help but notice these beautiful visuals. Um,
We have a
I,
tree in every store.
it really you have like a real tree inside the store.
Well, it's not a real tree, it's made by an artist.
That's still sick. It's an art installation tree.
Yeah, it's an art installation tree.
That's incredible. Wow, these are beautiful. Yeah, so it's like even oh my god, this photo particularly is crazy. Um, you know, this feels like it's like I'm walking through.
A beautiful store.
Yeah, this I don't know how to describe it. This is a one of one for sure. I wanted to say it feels like I'm walking through that like beautiful makeup smelly good area of like a Macy's or like a Nordstrom's right at a mall or like that area. But then you threw this beautiful art installation tree and it's so well lit and decorated that it's like wow, like this makes me want to sit down and like talk to somebody and wonder what's going
And
on.
people do all the time. And in two of our stores, we also have art galleries. We have in that gallery, we have the mezzanine. We have art installations in there, and then in
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea, we also have art installations every 6 weeks. And so
Was
Um,
the art installations part of that unique retail vision concept, or was
yes,
this
it
that was
was.
always? So it's
Oh,
like, is that something that we feel is missing from the regular world? Then, just is just more things that really get the brain flowing.
I think so. I think that you want to have different experiences, you know? I mean, also, we have events. We have, slam poetry every couple months. We
Oh,
have
cool.
events you come in and learn how to roll a joint. So we always do different things in order to create more community around our customers.
Now, obviously, dispensaries there, unless it's a lounge, which I don't know much about that in New York just yet. Shout out to New Jersey for recently popping open some lounges, but in New York,
Not
yeah,
yet.
you're not able to consume in the dispensary, but we're able to. What are we rolling for those things then?
We roll, non
Just
cannabis
some
products.
yeah, okay, okay. In my head, I'm like, wait, hold on, what? This is sick. I can go to a rolling event at a dispensary. Why didn't I ever do that in Seattle back in the day? Super cool. Point being, you guys are being creative and connecting with the people out there, and there's a lot of creative ways to do that.
Yeah.
Now, I'm seeing here, back to your bio, invested in over 150 companies. Did any of the non-retail companies you've worked with, did you pull anything from that to help you execute this vision
Oh,
and build a
absolutely.
community? Can you
I mean,
provide an example of that,
out
maybe?
of those 150 companies, I was probably the first penny in 85-90% of them. And
Wow.
so, I was very involved in helping the founder and being really the consigliere to the founder, and how do you build your brand, and who are you hiring, and how are you thinking this through, and all
Yeah.
of those things. And so there's no doubt that was very made an impact in how I thought about building this business.
That's cool to think about all the different experiences. I mean, I've been working on Respect My Region for so long. And so it's like every time I've talked to people that I've worked with in so many other fields, to be able to pull that experience or get some of that advice and use some of that into active decision making in the company. I think that's huge. When it comes to the culture in the store, obviously you guys are real big on treating the customers and the training and things of that sort. I think it's dope that you guys have this reoccurring internal connective points. What's it like with your brands? How do we go about curating brands there? What went into that? What kinds of companies are we partnering with at the store?
Yeah, I mean, from the cannabis perspective, I mean, we work really hard at trying to find as many different brands and small brands that are Black brands, BIPOC brands, female owned brands, and not easy. So, one of the things that we're actually launching next, I think it's next month, is something called Gotham Grows. And so, we
Cool.
brought in someone to help us, and we're going to choose 4 companies that already have figured out the brand and are trying to grow their business. And we're going to give them a 6 to 8 week curriculum to help them think about how they build their brand and give them advice. And at the end of the program, we will put them on our shelves to see how they do. And hopefully, with that, they'll be picked up another dispensary.
People love to say that weed sells itself. Not the case, right, Joanne?
Case. You need the right branding. I mean, we even have companies where, we'll try the products and go, oh, this is so good, but their branding is terrible. And it's
Yeah.
important that in our store, what we're carrying behind the counters also represents what we want our customers to feel when they walk in our store. So some of these products that are like dripping with like wax and colors and like, skeleton faces on it, like we're not going to carry that in our store.
Yeah. People have to really know their audience. There's different types of cannabis consumers, folks, and guess what? If you're a legal licensed cannabis company, you don't sell to the customers. You sell to the dispensaries, and
That's
that's
correct. And
a
that's
lesson.
important that I think no one really thinks about in this industry. And I've had this conversation, with the Office of Cannabis Management.
Mhm.
The most important people in this entire industry are the people behind the counters.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, as a former bud tender, I was lucky that I had Leafly training and then the dispensary training. And like our training came from a 5 store location, a bigger location, and their culture person trained our team. And so I had this super energetic person just coming in and establishing, yeah, you got to love it. These people are counting on you. You are the best part of their day, not just because they smoke weed recreationally or they're using it to go to the Yankees game, but also because after they see you, the stress drops halfway. Once they eat it, smoke it, drink it, dab it, vape it, rub it on their arm, the rest of it is just better. Their life is better as soon as they interact with you. And you have to remember that that touch point can make or break someone's day. And if we're talking to somebody and it's their first time using weed, you could change their life. And she looked at all of us and it was like, wow, that's the kind of energy that I want to have going forward. As a bud tender, it was phenomenal. It sounds like, as you said, insanely educated. You're very passionate about this, the experience of all this business and then the retail background. And then we look at the execution of it. You look at the store and it's like, it's fucking beautiful. Oh my God. Yeah, absolutely phenomenal. We're I don't know what are you from New York? I guess I should establish that. Are you from New York?
I'm not originally from New York, but I consider myself a New
Have
Yorker.
you heard the stereotypes about what strains New Yorkers historically gravitate to? The sour diesels and haze stuff, all that. Do you
Yeah,
feel that that generally still applies where it's 2026? I haven't asked anybody in 26. In
yeah.
2026,
You
are
know,
New
I
Yorkers smoking sativas primarily, or what's up?
I think that we're pretty balanced across the board of what we sell and what we people
Interesting.
like. I think people are always interested in trying new products. I would have thought that the biggest sell in New York would have been pre rolls, just because it's grab and go and smoke down the street. But we're seeing gummies and also drinks really start to like take off.
Yeah. Was what am I correct? Did I see that you guys like do a bundle deal, like a build your own pack for the drink stuff on the site and kind of offer a discount on that?
Yeah, we've done
You
that too.
uniquely, you guys are unique in that you're really creatively pushing the promotion of beverages and you had a variety of options.
Yeah, and we also have, a private label line called Gotham that you'll probably see at like wonderful retailers near you eventually,
Cool.
where we've made a lotion, a candle, a salve, a diffuser, incense, and lotion, CBD lotion, and so that is sort of I think of as our omni channel, is something
Mhm.
you can take home, and the bottles are gorgeous and all the scents are fantastic.
Now, I'm going to throw you a curveball here because I was recently spending more time on this Threads, that Instagram, Twitter thing that they created, and I'm
Yes.
really digging it. Right, it's been really valuable for me in what I've been trying to do on it. And I saw somebody post something on there about how they had a phenomenal experience at a dispensary in New York with a kiosk. And it blew me away because I remembered the first seeing kiosks in Seattle back in 2015 and 16 and 17 when I was actively going around and that's a tech city, right? And all this stuff. And then I looked at your store and I'm just thinking like, okay, this woman is she's the OG. She's gangster with the retail shit. Okay, here we go. I look at it. It's beautiful. It's artistic, and I don't see initially those kiosks, and I don't see a big robotic vending machine style thing either. So
Well,
my question becomes not about that necessarily only, but if you could touch on it. My question becomes, how do you utilize tech in such a beautiful space?
so we realized that a lot of customers really just want to come in for pickup and do different things, or actually go in there and see what's happening. So
Yeah,
we introduced kiosks really in more of a laptop kind of situation. You're going to see in our stores at the end of next week, all of our stores will have these gorgeous kiosks
cool.
that look like they were just built in and they've always been there. And we're teaching our connoisseurs how to be able to sell to multiple customers at the same time, be there for them, and
Yeah,
then when they finish their interaction with the
yeah.
kiosk, that then someone comes and delivers them their product and they can go outside.
I
So,
think that's genius. Genius. I think that's genius. A group setting, technology on the floor. There's nothing worse than me having to go back and forth and back and forth. Or even yet, you said earlier the 1981 experience. Should I have a pen and paper golf style? Where you know what I'm saying?
I
Like we just
totally know what you're saying.
like, and that's okay, kind of, but not when we're talking being the best of the best and delivering what your vision really is at the end of the day.
Right,
It's just
completely.
not
So
good.
I think it's a good balance. And, this is a business that is really hard to get profitable in, thanks to the US government. And so, I think that through the kiosk experience with the people that are working in our store, it creates the balance of how we can become profitable.
Um, you've mentioned a few different times focusing on BIPOC women, specifically the Black community. I know there's a strong Latin community there
Yep, that's
as well. I've been hearing over the last year about more of these. What's your guys's the small grows, the small businesses, the
the
little.
micro growers.
Thank you. I was gonna say I didn't want to be wrong. The micro grows.
We've leaned
Um,
into them as well.
cool, 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 cool. Do you guys?
Micro gardens, I think of them as IPAs, right? It's
Yeah,
like really unique, a little more pricey, but there's absolutely a need for that in the market.
yeah. I mean, I drink IPAs, not regular beer, so that's 100% why I love that about your guys' market, and it'll always be unique because that weed will always change, and there'll be new micro grows coming online as
Mhm.
more people, set up their farms and things like that, and get it licensed at the end of the day. And with your guys' program, I'm sure you guys will eventually provide some kind of opportunity with things like that in the future. Sounds
Mhm.
like you guys are leaders in that space of empowerment, and I would say incubation, which is really dope.
Yeah, the
Um,
other thing that we're doing is on January 29th, we are launching the High Rise. We're working with Cultivated Media, and we are putting on our first salon. You have
cool.
to apply to come. We'll have probably 150 people there, and we're going to do it again in October so that we can start having conversations in this industry at a much more elevated level, right?
Yeah.
Nobody talks about the importance of research or why no one's putting money in these businesses. And so those are the kind of conversations we're looking to have.
Absolutely. Now we just finished up 2025. We're in this new year now, Joanne. What's on the horizon on the future beyond that salon event you were just talking about? Do you have anything here in the next week or so, or
Yes.
anything after that event?
Well, I'm trying to open up one more store. We'll see where it goes. And
Okay.
the other thing that we're going to do, if you happen to be a commuter, we are going to be having a kiosk at Grand Central where we are only going to carry our Gotham products that are non-cannabis oriented. Although, hopefully you will get to know Gotham and we can always deliver to your office before you take your train home.
That's super cool, man. I love that. And for me, it's like, you know what I thought was one of the coolest things the first time I went to New York was drinking one of those heirloom lemonades on the subway. Like that was one of the coolest things for me. It was like I'm drinking weed and I'm moving on this subway. I don't know where I'm going, and it's like, and I saw my first subway rat. That was really cool. At the same time, right before that, like it was crazy. I don't know. It's the simple things for me. And again, I'm not even from LA, so I like the grittiness. I like this culture. Give me the dirt. Give me the grunge. Give me a little danger. Give me the high end. That's what's beautiful here. I think the retail, for the most part, all the fancy ones over in Sunset and West
Mhm.
Hollywood,
West
Hollywood,
Hollywood.
all that
Yep.
stuff sucks. Respectfully, I think it's all pretty bland, except for Woody Harrelson's dispensary because it's super unique in that way. It's
I haven't gone
his.
to his yet, but I'm going to be out in LA starting in February, and I
Oh,
plan on
exciting.
to take a visit.
Yeah, for sure. We'll definitely have to tap in, Joe. And it's been a pleasure to talk with you here today. I want to get one more question in before I get you out of here. I really
Okay.
appreciate you for joining us. Everybody, make sure you guys visit their website, Gotham.nyc. You guys got to check it out. You can Google just Gotham Dispensaries and engage and go support there. They would appreciate the traffic, and make sure you guys schedule a pickup order as soon as you land in New York. That's just mandatory at this point, folks. But my question for you, Joanne, is what's the message for you? What's the message for the world 2026? What's some good energy you got for the people out there?
The message for the world is federally legalize this product already.
Boom. Banger. One banger. Federally legalized this product already. Let's go.
Yes,
Marijuana.
federally
Cannabis.
legalize the plant.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Joanne, it was, like I said, it's been a pleasure to have you here. For folks, for you guys watching Gotham, they got 4 locations: Bowery, Williamsburg. Let's see if I can get it again. Chelsea and
Hudson.
Hudson. Hudson. Yeah, I knew I was going to get it. Come on.
Mhm.
We wouldn't be able to do this though, courtesy without our partners, folks at Deep Roots. These guys are our SEO partners, marketing. They've helped my website. I'm able to talk marketing and have these conversations because my guy Matt educated me, and so big shout out to him for working with Respect My Region on the RMR Podcast Network. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe. You guys can hate on me, but you can't hate on Gotham because that's such a dope name, and they got fire weed at good prices all over the city in New York. Make sure y'all tap in. Joanne, thank you again. And folks, we'll catch you on the next one. I love you guys.